So, we're talking about this idea that at any moment you might be doing a balance of work, leisure, and self-care. So work and leisure and self-care, right? Those are our major things. Now let's take them outside of leisure. Let's take them outside of that typical model that we're looking at and self-care. Let's think about all the things that are happening for us in a typical day. We are, well, okay, so get up in the morning, right? Get up. Okay, so the sleeping before that took some time, right? Imagine a 24 period, as if it started sometime before midnight, but let's just put some hours up on the board here. We get a bunch of hours. Maybe we could be 6 to 8 hours really easily. 7, 8, whatever that number is, it does not matter. We talk about it in the sleep chapter. What is the ideal? It doesn't matter. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to get some certain number of hours of sleep. Just enjoy, you know, being well. If you can get that deep sleep, obviously that's good. That's some of the best sleep that's available. We talk about that more in the bonus chapter on sleep. So, but anyways, we're doing some sleep. Maybe a shower here, right? That's a self-care task. In America, we're taking showers all the time. This apparently in Europe, this is not as common, but it is something that we definitely do here. And heck, it could be done all around the world. Again, this amazing abundance. Imagine just being able to step into a hot shower. So self-care shower, maybe some breakfast, right? Ooh, EA, you got that in there? Breakfast, dressing, whatever, in whatever order that happens, okay? That's all self-care tasks, and they all add up, right? You could be 6, 8 hours, 8, 9 hours, whatever. By the time you end up with all of this stuff done, you've taken care of yourself. Now, if you were to also add exercise, now where would exercise go? Now, if you were to think of exercise as drudgery, something you're just doing to get through it, just as a self-care, then it would start to unbalance self-care, because you can also choose exercise pursuits that are leisure pursuits, right? So could we go exercise in the morning before going to work, right? But work now most obviously is your job, right? Is that the only time we get to express our work? Absolutely not. There's so many people that are doing so much good work for their family, their fellow human beings, people doing volunteer work. But imagine someone who works at home taking care of their family. Obviously that's a tremendous amount of work, and you understand cooking, cleaning, all those things that you're doing. Those contributions that person is making are very hugely important, and we just want to talk about that and how everyone can be getting involved with it. Can a 5-year-old work? Yeah. They can be doing some things for other people. There was this idea, I know when I was going through my training 20 years ago, and I think it still exists, but that the play is the work of childhood. Possibly, right? But there's also a possibility that work is the work of childhood. You can actually start to incorporate those things in. We're talking in this little section about extending each activity. Now let's say we focus on this exercise activity. Now, is it possible that exercise can be self-care? Yes, it could only be self-care. You could actually just be, you know, on a treadmill just doing something for the purpose of caring for your body. But if you turn that into something fun, there's a game that's played on some treadmills where it's like you have to get your heart rate down. It's measuring your heart rate as you do this through your hands. And the game is that you're trying to get your heart rate back down after you get it back up. So you get it down, get it up, get it down, get it up. Next thing you know, you've done all this exercise, but you weren't thinking about it. You were just kind of completely involved in the game, the leisure pursuit of this exercise. I've actually done way longer workouts with that game idea in mind. So think of it. Can you turn something into a game? Can you make something fun? Can you make some of these things fun, right? Could a shower be a leisure pursuit? Couldn't you enjoy a shower? Absolutely. Could you be in there working? This is an old, Dilbert cartoon. The guy is in there and he's like I just figured it out, right? He figures out this engineering problem while he's in the shower. Why not, right? That's work too, right? So this could, you know, theoretically work across there. We can extend any activity if we start to explore it. Sleep, you know, there is such a thing as a leisure sleep. Absolutely. That's the nap on Saturday afternoon if you get a chance for that. That would be wonderful, right? So you can be thinking about sleep even as extending that activity. I still haven't figured out the job that you can do things for other people while you're sleeping, but who knows? Theoretically, anything's possible. Actually, I can think of one right now. If you're cranky and you going to sleep would be the best thing for everyone, that's taking a nap for everyone else. There you go. That's an idea there. But otherwise, you think about all these things. Now, work. Why couldn't your job have components of fun, interaction with your colleagues, things that you're actually doing as you do it? So taking an individual activity, recognizing it for what it is. So we talk about the grilled cheese sandwich. That grilled cheese sandwich is just a little idea for you to anchor on, right? We can be thinking about quickly slapping this grilled cheese sandwich together and put it together and get it and eat it as a self-care task. Or we could be a little creative with it and turn it into a little bit of a leisure task. As you're cooking something that you know and you do it all over and over again, you sneak a little bit of something in there, see if anybody notices that this new spice is in there or whatever. You can kind of you can be playful at self-care, playful at work, doing all these things for those purposes. So just think about all the fun opportunities you now have to extend an activity. Think of every activity that you're doing and see if there's a way to bring in more and more things. That gets us to the idea that if this is like a third, and this is a third, this is a third, right? How are we going to get there without, you know, often people would frown on that if your leisure tasks were a third of your time. I don't know, that's part of the culture that we have here. It doesn't mean it's valid, right? But if you did that exercise as part of your leisure, if you did your work as part of your leisure, some of your expression, your creativity, why not? Why not try to make it a third, a third, a third? Why not make these things happen more often? Make a functional triad happen, you know, every hour. Make it happen every minute. You know, maybe you can't do it every, you know, think about this more. Rather than having it be an 8-hour chunk, make it be something that works for you in your life. So that's extending an activity. Now we're going to just wrap all this stuff up in the next little section.